Hey, and welcome to another episode of Rankum. We've done it. We've made episode 100, and you all voted to redo the movie trilogies list that we did. I've and when I did this, it's like last time I decided to do some criteria. I tweaked it a little bit from that because I'm going to recap what our list was last time we did this. Some of these won't be eligible now because they've had more movies. But Lord of the Rings, Toy Story, Dark Knight, Back to the Future, Cornetto, Planet of the Apes, the Wise Dawn War trilogy, the Avengers, X-Men New Class, the Spider-Man trilogy, Oceans, and then the OG X-Men also made it on, and Men in Black were the trilogies that made the list last time. Obviously, some of those will not be here because they've had new movies since then. And it's going to be a lot of fun, but I've got a great panel here. I've got Stephen. Stephen, how's it going?
Good.
And Christina.
I'm doing great. I'm very excited to be here. I have a long, weird list that I hopefully can make a couple people judge me for, but I'm okay with it. And I just want to say that I'm very upset that Toy Story 4 exists because it ruined a perfectly good trilogy.
I actually disagree, but that's the fun of it. But Aaron, we've also got Aaron here.
Aaron is here, and Aaron's doing well. I don't have a weird list at all. I have a very correct list. So I'm looking forward to agreeing with Christina, and hopefully, I think it's Steven I see through there. But then hopefully Chris eventually joins us too, our favorite Instagram filter model, Chris. So looking forward to him joining as well.
Yeah, I was getting there. Chris Stairs will be joining us.
So I wore my yellow shirt today.
And also, Anthony, take that back.
Yeah, Anthony's correct. Anthony
he's not wrong.
But anyway,
fuck those nerd movies.
But anyway, I put the criteria that I'm using on the post that I did. I've already told the panel the criteria as well, just because I don't want them to make any mistake. Like, well, not get into trouble and bring up something that shouldn't be. But I'm going to go to Aaron first. Aaron, what's the first trilogy you're going to bring up?
All right. The first trilogy I will bring up on this list, I will just expect that no one else will have it because they're just, they're trying to figure out their way a little bit. But it is the Before trilogy by Richard Linklater. If you haven't seen these movies, you haven't been listening to me. There he is, and there's my shirt to match. There we go. Hi, Chris. How are you?
Hey, haven't missed so far.
You've missed nothing. I'm actually mentioning my first movie right now, which is the Before trilogy.
So nobody else mentioned anything? Or
No, you haven't missed anything.
No, you've missed nothing. Yeah, so anyways, the Before trilogy, Richard Linklater, I think it is perfect. I like each one of the individual movies separately or together. And it's just, it has to be my first pick in honor of Peggy G, who's out at the actual bars again. So I'll enjoy my beer at home for you.
Christina, what do you say about the Before trilogy?
I have never seen it. However, I did research it before this because, again, Peggy has spoken so highly of it, and she even texted me about it before and couldn't say enough nice things about it. It's definitely something I need to watch. I'm going to give it a yes because it definitely, from what I've read, looks right up my alley of something I would absolutely love.
Stephen, what do you say about the Before trilogy?
I've seen Before Sunrise, I enjoyed it. I've seen Before Sunset, and I was, to be honest, kind of meh on it. But I haven't seen Before Midnight.
Chris, have you seen the Before trilogy?
Yeah.
I sadly have not. I wanted to see. Sorry.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not going to make the list. I tried to find it. I did watch 2 full trilogies this week for this, but I could not find the Before trilogy at all. But yeah, it's one that I do want to see because I've heard so many good things about it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go to Christina next. Christina, what is your next pick?
Unreal.
I'm gonna go with, before I start to do weird stuff, I have to go with my all-time favorite movies trilogy of all time. I should have brought my book with me, recently written by Brad Gilmore, and I have to go with Back to the Future trilogy. It is my all-time favorite movie. Like I remember the first time I watched this movie, and then obviously watching the rest. It's a trilogy I bring into school with my students watch.
Uncultured swine in here.
I know.
Sorry. Go ahead, Christina.
No, it's fine.
Keep talking about your basic ass pick.
I backed you up. Bitch.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm just upset.
This is my favorite.
I lash out at the ones I'm closest to. Go.
My absolute favorite, and I should have worn my shirt. I have a Save the Clock Tower shirt. I didn't wear it, but I can't imagine. It's one of the best pure trilogies of all time. So,
Stephen, what do you say about the Back to the Future trilogy?
Yeah, of course. It made it. I know it made it pretty high last time, and I'm sure it'll make it very high this time.
Yeah, I mean, I love Back to the Future. It's an all-time favorite for me, so it's easier as it is for me. And Chris, what do you say about Back to the Future?
Who the president? Ronald Reagan, the actor who was my president, Jerry Lewis? Hell yes, I love Back to the Future. I thought we watched it recently for a tournament, and they all hold up so well. This is one of my favorite trilogy in my top 12 list, and I loved it. Yeah, hell yes.
Stephen, what is your first pick?
Do I not get an opinion here about it?
No,
Aaron, what do you say about that?
Yeah, I have a couple opinions about it. First of all, I need Tony to make Chris read all 3 scripts to the Back to the Future movies as like a feature presentation trivia league video at some point. So there's some free production notes, Tony. Second of all, one of my favorite things about the Back to the Future trilogy, besides the fact the second one is my favorite one, is that it tells the same story essentially 3 straight times. The complaint that always comes with a lot of sequels is like, oh, it's too much like the original. It does it 3 straight times, yet it does it so perfectly executed those 3 times, you don't even realize it. So obviously it's a yes. Even as much of a hater as I am, it's a yes.
Yeah. Stephen, was your first pick?
Oh yeah, 2, 1, 3. I agree with Tony.
So I watched, before doing my list, I watched the last one, and I was surprised that this trilogy was never brought up, because I think it's one of the 3 of the funniest movies ever, and that's the Naked Gun franchise trilogy.
I didn't hear what he said.
Yeah, what trilogy?
Naked Gun.
I'm gonna be the only one to back you up, I bet here, but
Leslie Nielsen gives the funniest performances ever in these 3 movies.
Yeah, for the Naked Gun trilogy, this is one that I've only seen the first one. I just haven't got around to seeing the other 2. I think it's fine. It just wouldn't be top 12 for me. Chris, what do you think of the Naked Gun trilogy?
I totally forgot about I never seen him. I wanted to see him. Believe me, there's a lot of comedy class I haven't seen, but yeah, I had to say no just because I haven't seen it, but I pay me to say no because I know that a lot of people love them. I understand.
Aaron, what do you say about the Naked Gun trilogy?
I have seen all 3 of these movies. I love that they lampoon everything down to the title. And this did redefine Leslie Nielsen as a actor. But I've got to say no. There's so many great trilogies that you can bring up, even better comedy trilogies. So yeah, it's a no from me, dog.
Christina, what would you have said about Naked Gun?
I've never seen any of the movies, so I don't really have an opinion. So I guess I would say no.
That's right. For my first pick,
I know. I know
He
Aaron.
just laughed at me. I can hear him from the next room.
But yeah, for my first pick, it's bound to make Aaron pretty happy that I've finally seen these movies. I'm going for Friday, the Friday trilogy.
Ooh.
This is one that I knew I finally watched this week, and I think this trilogy is great. And I've loved all the movies in it. Friday After Next is probably the weakest of this trilogy, but I think the other two stand up quite well. And I think Ice Cube and Chris Tucker, the first one, is just great pairing. And I'm sad we don't get to see them paired up in many other movies. Chris, what do you say about the Friday trilogy?
I might be the only one here. I never seen them, and I've seen a lot of Ice Cube movies.
No, he hasn't seen them either.
Because yeah, I just never. I've been meaning to. It just I have yet to find them anywhere to watch them on.
Great job, Malcolm. Thank you for not making me take one of my picks.
Yeah.
Friday is one of the best movies of the decade it was in, which is the 90s. And the other two are good enough to carry it to being a great trilogy still. I think the other two do drop off from the first, but first is the best. So I've got to agree with you. Overall, it's a great trilogy. They're not going to make more because Ice Cube is now very, very scared and family friendly. So and Chris Tucker, is smoking something besides weed now.
Christina, what do you say about the Friday trilogy?
Yeah.
I've never seen it, but I did a quick Google, and it looks like I would like it. And Aaron likes it, and Anthony likes it. So I'm like, yes, let's do this thing. And I never say yes to Malcolm, so let's just go for it.
And Friday makes list.
Friday makes the list, and the Before trilogy doesn't. Got it.
And Stephen, what would you have said?
I think I saw the first one a long time ago. I don't really remember it that much.
Yeah, you don't.
So I would have to see now.
And Chris, what is your first pick?
So right now we have Back to the Future and the Friday trilogy, right?
That is correct.
So I try and go with probably the only superhero one on my list, and it's honestly, especially after rewatching the first movie, I think they all hold up pretty well. I go with the Captain America trilogy. Captain America, First Avenger, Winter Soldier, and then Civil War. They are fantastic movies. The first movie is actually hold up a lot better upon rewatch, especially from the Phase 1, better than most of some of the other Phase 1. Winter Soldier, honestly, besides Endgame, the best sequel out in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And Civil War is great with the airport scene. They all had heart, they had humor, great character, great action, great villain. And it's just like when you see a superhero trilogy that had one great movie after another, Captain America beat a lot of the other Marvel trilogies that so far.
Aaron, what do you say about the Captain America trilogy?
So I really am not a big comic book movie fan, not a big superhero movie fan, and two of my favorite movies overall in the years they came out were Winter Soldier and Civil War. This is definitely a yes, even though I don't like the first Captain America at all. The last two were great. So, yeah.
And Christina, what do you say about Captain America?
I mean, obviously this is a yes. And I would just like to point out and shout out to Garth also. It is his birthday today. So obviously I know my boo is watching. So happy birthday. And I'm saying yes to your trilogy. And I mean, let's be real. Winter Soldier is the best movie in all of the MCU. And I could not live my life fully if I didn't have that elevator scene because that's bomb.com.
You're right up until that .com part.
Captain America makes the list. Stephen, what would you have said about the Captain America trilogy?
I would have said yes. Yeah. We're all great.
Yeah, this would have been an easy yes for me as well. Aaron, we go back to you for your next pick.
Okay, time for me to be disappointed by this group for a second time. I'm just trying to choose which one of my movies lists aren't going to be chosen by this group. So we're gonna go. I'm already feeling sad. I know no one's seen these movies, but I'm gonna bring them up anyways. It's the Lars von Trier Depression trilogy, which, in case you don't know, is Antichrist. It is Melancholia, and it is Nymphomaniac. These are three movies that will push the realms of what you're thinking and what is allowed to be shown on film, but there's a method behind the madness. And I relate to Lars von Trier because I, myself, am often misunderstood by particularly this entire community. So this entire community hasn't seen those movies. They're just going to be like, oh, that's dark. I don't want to think about that. That's because if you ignore it, it's not there, right? But anyways, these movies put it right in your face and force you to face the things that are there, whether you look at them or not. So the Lars von Trier Depression trilogy. No one's seen them. It's a no from everybody. We can move on if everybody wants to think about happier bullshit comic book things again.
Christina, have you seen the Depression trilogy?
No, I am a happy person. I don't. And I mean, and at this point, I'm trying to, Tony, I don't actually know what that's. Is that a Euro sim? I don't even really know. But I'm trying to get Tony some money here that he's betting that none of us have seen this. So I am no for me.
Stephen, what do you say about Depression trilogy?
Isn't it technically 4 movies because Nymphomaniac had Volume 1?
You can watch Nymphomaniac Part 1 and 2 and have a real fuck night. It's like the Kill Bill movies. I call those one movie too. So I'm cheating here. Everybody's going to say no anyways, Steven. So just say yes. Do me a favor.
I mean, Volume 1 is the only Lars von Trier movie I've actually seen. I do want to see Melancholia, though.
It's fantastic. It's not what everybody just paint. There's more to me that I like with most von Trier movies, but they get judged on the surface by people, and Christina hasn't ever even heard of Lars von Trier. So
that is true.
I mean, I didn't even know this was a trilogy because I have. I've seen Nymphomaniac Volume 1.
What do you think?
It was fine. I can't remember what I rated it on Letterboxd, but I discovered it when I was doing an Uma Thurman movie watch through. But I mean, I've only seen that once. I can't really say used to it. Chris, what do you say about the Depression trilogy?
I tried watching it for Mania. Just couldn't get into it. Then the other two, I've been meaning to watch Melancholia because I hear a lot of good things about it, and it on my list of watch list. Believe me, I have a bunch of watch lists of stuff that you'll probably be mentioned here than just never seen before.
Yeah.
So that's a no from everybody, right?
Yeah.
Got it. So I just one last thing before we bury the Depression trilogy, and I would never touch that bet, Tony. That's a terrible bet. But just before we drop it, if you like crazy Willem Dafoe performances, watch Antichrist. It is the craziest. Crazy. It makes Lighthouse look like a child's movie. I'll say.
Wow, more crazier than Lighthouse and his.
It makes the Lighthouse look like a child's movie.
On that note, Christina, what does you
brain it up with like fucking Milo?
All right. So I figured that most of my panelists would pick like super serious, like actually good trilogies. So I'm not going to do that. I'm gonna just pick super fun ones that I really like. I'm gonna toss it back to a childhood favorite, and everyone say it with me: Quack, 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 quack. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Mighty Ducks. Okay, D3 is garbage, but you got to tell me that 1 and 2 are phenomenal. Hello, we get the Bash Brothers in the second movie. Okay, we get the goalie, whatever her name is, I forget. The cat. Anthony, help me out. What's the goalie's name?
Goldberg, yo.
No, the
That's
girl. We got
Okay.
Cat, though.
Cat,
Cat, or
right?
whatever.
Yeah.
Thank you. Way to be too late, bro.
Yeah, I got there first, Anthony.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the greatest. You get the kid that was really fast in the Sandlot, and now he's really, really fast in D2. I mean, it's really exciting. So I'm going to go with that. It was a great part of my childhood. It's a great part of my adulthood. Mighty Ducks.
Stephen, what do you say about the Mighty Ducks?
Oh, God.
I've only seen the first one, and that was when I was a kid.
Oh my God.
I've finally seen 2 out of the 3 this year. I haven't seen the third one, but I've seen enough to say that I like them, and I'm going to say yes to them.
Yes, Malcolm. Yes.
Chris, what do you say about the Mighty Ducks?
You know what? I loved the first 2. I think I don't lean to yet just because we need a fun movie on this list besides Back to the Future.
Yes, Aaron. I love this.
Aaron, what would you
Are we
have said
fucking
about?
kidding here? We're talking about the best trilogies ever. This movie shouldn't have even been brought up in the fucking honorable mentions. I have lots of movies I liked as a kid that I can admit are pure shit. And these movies suck. No. Fuck, no. Oh my God. Can I smoke on here? Holy shit. I'm just kidding. That's a redundant question. I'll get booted off. Fuck that, though. No.
Stephen, what is your next trilogy you're going to bring up?
God damn. Holy shit.
I guess I'll bring up another one that people really like. I think people really like the first 2, but I don't think they like the third one very much. But I actually enjoyed all 3 of them, and that's Beverly Hills Cop.
Hey, my man! Don't forget the third one, though. Wonderful Wonder World.
So Beverly Hills Cop is on the table. I like the first one. I'm not a big fan of the other two. I'm going to actually say no. Chris.
Okay, shocker. I have a drink in my and I will enjoy watch the first one for the first time last night, and instead of spend time with my girlfriend. I had to say no. Yeah, it was on last night on TV, but I watched another Eddie Murphy movie. It's ever coming to America for the first time, so I thought I had to say no.
Aaron, what do you say about Beverly Hills Cop?
I mean, where do I start? Talk about movies that formed who I am as a person. The third movie was one of my favorite movies as a child. I absolutely love the third one. The first one is a damn perfect movie. The second one's great as well. Like this is a no-brainer. This is a great pick by Steven. He's gained back a little of my respect. Chris, I don't know what you're thinking right now because you know Christina hasn't seen any good movies, so she's not going to pick this.
No, there be a thumb that
your job to save it, and you fucked up. Go ahead, Christina. Disappoint me.
I have seen the first one, and I love Eddie Murphy, and I was going to give this a yes, and now I'm thinking about saying no. Just
be your own person. Make your own decisions. Don't let me make them again.
Loves Beverly Hills Cop. Are you kidding me? This is obvious.
Yeah, watch the third one. You would adore it.
I'm giving it a yes. You're being a butthole for a reason.
Thank you. God, I like the joke behind you. It looks nice and organized.
This is way more entertaining than the crap I watched today with Onum Spell.
Yeah, the third one has a cameo by George Lucas. Jesus.
Right,
I do have to fight for some.
It's on to me. And we're already five deep. I'm
now we're getting the Mighty Duck.
But I'm going to bring up one that if it completely misses this list, a certain consigliere in the fan leagues is going to come after us and throw us in the river with Luca Brasi. I'm bringing up the Godfather trilogy.
Hey.
Well, the third one may not be that great. The first two are great enough for it to be on this list. Chris, what do you say about the Godfather trilogy?
I tell you, mate, you offer you.
Chris.
I cannot refuse. Like, vinegar and dropped the cannoli. Like, you broke my heart. I love the Godfather. Both of the first and second are two of my favorite movies all the time. Yes, I got to say yes. Even though I don't like the third one that much, I love the first two to death. And Malcolm, I'm so happy you finally got around to watching them.
I can't say it better myself than Chris just did. Not the quotes, not the comments afterwards. So it's a yes, absolutely.
Christina, what do you say about The Godfather?
I haven't seen
I've
that.
actually never seen The Godfather. However, it's The Godfather. I can't say no. It's definitely.
Stephen.
I mean, the third one might not be as good as the first two, but I still thought it was a good movie.
Yeah, it's better than the majority of mob movies ever created.
Yeah.
I just saw Capone. That shit was dog shit.
But we were saved from Kirk coming to all of our houses and murdering us. Chris, what is the next trilogy?
Ooh. You know, I'm going to go with something recent. I saw about this, and right now I only 3 movies. The first one is rumored being starting made pretty soon. I'm going with the John Wick trilogy. They are some of the best action trilogy out there. The action is amazing. John Wick as a character, the boogeyman himself. You do not met with his dog. You do not met with his car. How many times you had to learn this? Especially, and it gets better and better. Like second and third are some of the most stunning action sequences ever. Great characters. Harry Berry, Ian McShane. I like to go on, and like when you see a great recent trilogy, this is one of them. Like, and it's still a trilogy. The fourth one had not come out yet, haven't been made yet, so it counts.
Aaron, what do you say about John Wick trilogy?
Do you think I've watched a John Wick movie? Do you really think Chico would allow that to happen? No. I gotta say no. Yeah, Tony's correct. No. I read the Wikipedia. No way. I don't watch movies with that shit in them. Nope. No. I don't care if he revenges after him. There's no way. Chico would walk out the door.
Christina, what do you say about John Wick?
I've never seen John Wick, so.
They kill dogs in it, Christina.
Yeah, I'm also not like a huge Keanu Reeves fan, so.
Yeah, let's not say things we don't
But they also have good God revenge in the third one with Doberman.
Stephen, what do you say about John Wick?
The first one was pretty decent, but I'm not really. I think this trilogy is kind of overrated, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, the stunts are great, and that's about it. I do like Halle Berry a lot in the third one.
I would have given John Wick a yes. I love this trilogy, but it's not going to make this list. Which brings us back round to Aaron.
Oh, it's back to me. All right.
Yeah, are you going to give us something that doesn't suck? Thanks.
Yeah, let me bring the mood, brighten up the mood a little bit here. And so Godfather was on my list, so great choice. I'm gonna go with a trilogy I've seen very recently. That I've had a lot of people who I don't trust their opinions on love these movies, and I was a little bit apprehensive. I don't love the third one as much as a lot of people, but it's the Evil Dead trilogy.
Yes.
Yeah, that it's super duper fun. I watch all these movies within a day of each other, and it is honestly just really good time. It does live up to. I can understand why people who've grown up with these movies adore them. I actually really like the first one that really takes it very seriously. It's a really good low budget horror movie, but I think low budget is always better with horror. And Bruce Campbell is just like one of the best leading men in comedy, horror, or either or I've seen. So Evil Dead trilogy. for me.
I'm just reading the comments, so I don't know.
No,
If
the 2013 doesn't count. That's a remake.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
remake.
I was about to say. That was what I was just looking that up.
No,
Yeah,
reboot.
I'm allowing it because the most recent one was a reboot. But Christina, what do you say about the Evil Dead?
Evil Dead, it's Anthony's favorite, and he
Good choice,
loves it
Anthony.
and speaks so highly of this movie. I personally am not a fan of horror, but I have to say yes because he's yelling at me to say yes.
Yeah, that's right. Yell at her, Anthony.
Stephen, what do you say about Evil Dead?
I don't really get the love for this,
Steven.
to be honest. Schlocky horror that I didn't even really find to be that enjoyable.
Yeah, I tried watching the first. I mean,
Oh my
I tried watching the first one. I might need to just give it a rewatch and try and get through it again. But at this stage, I can't say yes to it. Chris, what do you say about Evil Dead?
God damn. Ugh. No.
Movie, baby. You had two options, Jack and Chet, and Jack just left the town. Like, come on, the Evil Dead has done the more entertaining horror movie there. They created a fantastic show. And
Oh my god. Oh my
It was
god.
after
So we
the
had
Evil Dead.
no's there, right?
Yeah,
Holy shit.
it's so entertaining, Malcolm. You should just give 2 and 3 a watch. It gets better after 2 and 3. First
So
one
it
is not
did.
that
So it
great.
didn't make the list then, correct?
Yeah.
Wait, Christina suggested, didn't she?
I
Oh,
did.
we needed 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
so
Yeah.
all right, freaked out for no reason. Chris didn't say no. Chris is.
Yeah,
Chris
I
has faith.
love the Evil Dead. It took me a
Damn
while to
fucking
watch
straight,
it.
Chris. Give me
Yeah.
some quotes.
And the show is really good as well. The TV show.
The show is actually I saw the show before I saw any of the movies, and the show is just as good as the
Yeah.
movie.
And also,
No, I've tried enough this week. Jesus, let me have this.
I cannot say no to the Evil Dead. Come on, guys.
Or
Anyway.
Andy doesn't want to make me cry.
anyway, Christina, we go to you.
Speaking of making me cry,
Oh, yeah.
I'm mostly just here to offer movies that are not that great. This is why I'm here and to just upset Aaron.
that's the spirit. Oh, I'll rewatch it.
Oh man, I should have just said no to make Aaron cry. That would have been funny.
You
I'm
make
sure
me
that,
cry.
guys, we still have time. We have plenty of time for Aaron to cry.
Yeah.
So during our nice little lockdown time together, my husband and I have spent entirely way too much time together, more time than we've ever spent together since we've met each other.
Tell me about it.
And we have been trading off what movies we're going to make the other person watch. And we ride together, we die together. Anthony has made me watch the whole trilogy, so I'm going to go Bad Boys because the first two are so like terrible 90s action. Even though the second one was not in the 90s, it still has that whole thing. But the third one was actually really great, and I really enjoyed it. And like I said, my list is just full of nonsense at this point. I'm here to purely entertain. So I'm going to go Bad Boys trilogy, Bad Boys for life.
Stephen, what do you say about Bad Boys?
Yeah, I'll say yes.
It's about time I agreed with you, Stephen. Jesus, I didn't think it was possible.
I was skeptical when the third one was released earlier this year that it was too late for a sequel. I really enjoyed the third one, so I'm going to say yes to Bad Boys as well. Chris?
I might be the only one here that they say no. I love the third one, but the first two are not that great compared to the third one. Yeah, like the third one is great, and because they changed that, they actually add development to the character. But the first two are really not that good. They have to be the only person they know on this panel.
Aaron, I think I know what you're going.
Yeah, it's a yes from me for sure. I love the first one. I like the second one. I love the third one. So 2 out of 3 in the trilogy is kind of what you can expect. If you can get 2.5 out of 3, that's good. The second one is good enough to give me, yeah.
Stephen, what is your next trilogy?
I'll go with Chris Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy. I love that. Those 3 movies are 3 of my favorite comic book movies of all time. And even though a lot of people think it's the weakest, I actually love The Dark Knight Rises the most out of the 3.
Oh, that's a terrible take.
Yeah, I mean,
oh my god. What?
I'm going to say no to the Dark Knight trilogy. I like Batman Begins. I think Dark Knight is fine, and Rises does not rise; it just falls down in quality.
Bazinga!
Chris, what do you go with the Dark Knight trilogy?
Oh God, I love the first 2. It's only under the same region with the Godfather would like to determine, and I think maybe I love the first 2. Yet 9, I might have to say no. I'm watching Pay Me. It's just like I think Dark Knight Rises is a decent movie. It's just nowhere good at first 2, and right now the few other I want to try to get on the list, and it's been on. I want to try to make it different from our previous list. They say no just for time.
Aaron, what do you say about the Dark Knight trilogy?
All right. I only kind of like one of these movies. And it's the first one. Dark Knight is fine. If you take Heath Ledger out of that, you're hating that movie. And then the third one is a piece of shit. Plot holes galore, and I don't even notice plot holes most of the time because my eyes are hardly open enough to be holes themselves. But I even see the plot holes in this movie. It's a no, man. It's very overrated, and it's brought up so much. And there's better superhero movies. There's definitely better trilogies.
Yeah,
no, I didn't make it either.
Christina, what would you have said?
One, I don't appreciate the Mighty Ducks hate. Okay, I brought it up. Not my fault that it got voted in.
I'm glad I'm influencing the chat. Be
Okay.
angry and depressed.
Second of all, the movie The Dark Knight is one of, if not the best, greatest superhero movie ever made. However,
yeah.
I'm not really that into Batman Begins or The Dark Knight Rises, and I believe this was on the last list. So I'm all about changing it up a little bit. So I'm going to say no, mostly to just change up the list a little bit.
Get it out of there. Atta girl.
You
Yes,
might be right.
I'm all about breaking the Facebook group. I'm all about it. Let's
Good.
do
Fuck
it.
that Facebook group. Go
Don't
ahead.
get me wrong. I love the Dark Knight trilogy for the most part. That Dark Knight Rises does not hold up.
There's a lot of good trilogies.
Let's change it up. Why not? Let's stop going with all the good ones. Let's go with the fun ones.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those ones that there is a lot of good trilogies, which is why I made the criteria I did, because it's so easy to go, oh yeah, Star Wars original trilogy, Indiana Jones. I've seen that a lot of too many times. It's but
At a certain point, let's talk about some other movies in this fucking community.
Exactly, and I'm going to bring up a trilogy I actually don't hear talked about nearly enough.
Good.
I'm going to bring up the Johnny English trilogy. I really like these movies. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I think, but I think Ron Exton is great as a bumbling spy, and I don't know where this is going to go. I think by some of the reactions I've seen, it's not going to go well. But I love these movies, and there is a lot of great trilogies that do come from over in UK. Chris, what do you say about Johnny English?
Johnny English is like the funny version of the Pink Panther. No, it's just I don't like any of these movies. I tried watching the most recent one. I found it one of the most annoying films in recent years. No.
I mean, stop saying stupid shit.
Aaron, what do you say about Johnny English?
I did see the first one at a friend's birthday party. Tony Costella, if you're watching right now, you're probably not, but if you are, your birthday party was great. The movie wasn't my favorite, and it split the birthday party pretty hardcore. I have some bad memories from it. It's making me depressed, and we know how we don't like depression here. We hide from it, so no. I'm going to say no because Johnny, it's too depressing of a trilogy for me.
Whoa, feature presentation.
Christina, what do you say about Johnny English?
I've never seen this, and it seems like Tony really likes this movie, so I'm going to give it a no.
That's a good way to make your decisions.
What would you have said?
For me, I don't think I've seen these movies, so I'd have to say no.
Oh boy.
But Chris, what is your next trilogy you're bringing up?
So when looking at the other list and like you talk about animation film, I'm surprised it doesn't get brought up. This trilogy is actually a personal favorite of mine. I've gone back to rewatch them a few times. The first two I love. It's full of spiritualness. It's full of really good action sequence for an animated film. One of the only Jack Black role I actually do love. It's the Kung Fu Panda trilogy. I think the first two are great movie on their own. They have darkness to it, but they also have heart and humor. The action sequence is great. The characters are great. The one is good and not great, but when you like the first two, are like the first two shreds, like How to Train Your Dragon. But actually, Summer Dream trilogy, Kung Fu Panda is definitely some of their better efforts, especially with the story of Po and like the twist into Gary Oldman, one of my favorite animation villain of all time with him in the second one. Like, just like Kung Fu Panda, like we got to get some animation trilogy love here.
Aaron, what do you say about Kung Fu Panda?
We don't have to do anything, and it's not going to be getting Kung Fu Panda on the best movie trilogy. No.
Christina?
I think there's a better animated trilogy, so I'm going to say no.
You're right, Christina. I agree with you for once.
Steven?
I think I've only seen the first one. I enjoyed it. I do want to see the third one because doesn't the third one have Jean-Claude Van Damme in it?
Yeah, and
I think the second one. Good movies in the last 30 years.
When Chris was talking about an animated trilogy that didn't make the list last time, I thought he was going a different way. There's a better trilogy in the DreamWorks movies than Kung Fu Panda, so I'm saying no to Kung Fu Panda. And Aaron, we go back to you.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I'm just trying to choose which trilogy you guys are all going to have not seen that I have to educate you on. Oh my God. I mean, I'll try to get you guys first before I go to actually accredited films that you haven't seen. And hopefully maybe a few of you have seen these. And, you know, I do mean offense by everything I'm saying. No, I don't. I'm kidding. Anyways, the movies I'm going with are from my childhood. They're nostalgic. Like a lot of trilogies, the first two are good. The third one is not great. But it has just some great slapstick humor. It has amazing comedy. The second one really switches up from the first one, so you can't complain too much there. It's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the original trilogy. So, Chris, fuck you, man. I really liked you before this, but now I'm going to have to rely on Christina and Steven because Malcolm isn't excited either. And I have a feeling this isn't going to make the list. Yes, that is. I have a lot of stories to tell. But the first movie is not just like a good Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie. It's a good movie overall. And I do challenge people who aren't even fans of the franchise to watch that one and find a lot of holes with it. The second one is made for the fans. So if you're not a fan, I can understand it not being your favorite. And the third one, You know, make sure you're nice and high for it, and then it will be good. That's my argument for why there should be best movie trilogies. So go ahead and shoot it down, everybody. I'm ready.
Christina, what do you say about TMNT?
I believe my boy Vanilla Ice does a pizza wrap in the second one. Is it a pizza
It's a
wrap?
ninja wrap.
The ninja wrap.
Go ninja, go ninja, go.
Yeah, so that's gonna be a yes for me. Go
Hey.
ninja, go.
There we go.
This is childhood right here. Of course it's a yes.
Also, I'm going to point out, Garth made this comment about 15 minutes ago.
I didn't even see that.
Stephen, what do you say about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
When I was a kid, my two big obsessions were He-Man and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And I'm a sucker for anything involving time travel, so I actually liked the third film. So yeah, I'm gonna say yes.
For those that are paying attention to the movies that I've watched for the first time this year, will know that I've watched these for the first time this year. I'm not a big fan of any of these.
God damn it, Malcolm.
I think they're fine. Hey, it makes the list anyway. Nothing I say is going to change that.
Dang, I agree with you for once.
I mean, technically you agreed with me on Friday and Bad Boys, but
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just
Chris, what would you have said?
I with Malcolm. I don't love any of the live action. I prefer the animated one from 2007 TNT over the other one. Like just because I captured the turtle better with that, and honestly, better story. I like the animated show better. I like the animated movie better. I just never been a big fan of the live action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
I mean, I do think the recent live action ones weren't terrible. Myself. But Christina, what is your next trilogy you're bringing up?
So this is probably where I lose the audience because I'm just going to go off the rails and Aaron might leave. But these are like a guilty pleasure. I love these movies whenever they're on cable. And that's Rush Hour. And I love these movies. And like my younger sister like runs around the house and she's almost 30 years old and is like, Lee, Hannah, Lee, and she just like runs around and screams it and it's so funny. And so yeah, I'm gonna go Rush Hour.
Stephen, what do you say about Rush Hour?
If we hadn't said yes to Bad Boys, I would have said yes to Rush Hour. But we have 9 movies so far, so I'm going to say no.
I do like the Rush Hour movies. I think they're entertaining. But I'm also going to give it a really slight no. So it's all on Chris here.
Pretty good, but this third one suck. Like, it really bad movie. Like the idea that they try to do a butt exam and instead of one of the more what the hell moment in the movie, and like oh god, and we had female spot. There's one comedy trilogy, and I had to take from the other.
What's going on here?
Yo, people are talking mad smack in the chat. Like I'm not from New Jersey. Like I'm not going to say something.
Yeah, I think she's going to say something.
The first two are great, but I had to say no because I hate the third one. Like one of the worst sequels.
Wait, did I go already?
I had to be shot down eventually. It's okay.
I don't think you have gone. So what do you say about Rush Hour?
Does my stay even matter here?
Yeah, no, I think everyone else has said no. So
everybody else said no. This is unfortunate because I love the second one. Like the second one is really an underrated sequel. It has some really good like chase action sequences in it of like crazy bamboo structures and whatnot. Jackie Chan is hilarious. Chris Tucker's there. I'll say yes, just out of moral support.
Thanks.
Yeah. And I mean, I agree with you, Aaron. I do think Rush Hour 2 is one of the better ones in this trilogy.
Yeah. The other two are kind of, yeah.
So, Stephen, what is your next trilogy?
All right. If you thought my Dark Knight Rises take was bad, I think Malcolm mentioned this in his honorable mentions in the previous one. That's Cloverfield. And the hot take that I have with the Cloverfield is
what?
The hot take that I have with the Cloverfield trilogy is
Don't say
I
it.
actually
Don't say it.
like the Cloverfield paradox.
Yeah, the Cloverfield trilogy is is on the table. Just on the first two and the first one and 10 Cloverfield Lane, I'm going to say yes. The Cloverfield paradox is just a piece of dumpster fire, which is not worth talking about anymore. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that hot take before. I'm stunned. Chris, what do you say about the Cloverfield trilogy?
Okay, based off the first two alone, I like Cloverfield. I love 10 Cloverfield Lane. Any little iffy. I hate Cloverfield Paradox. Like I like to. If one of the movie, I like to pretend that didn't happen. Like, but I giant lean toward a no and leave it up to the last two because I need to. It's just if they say yes, then be okay. It's just the third one almost ruined the trilogy as a whole because how bad it was.
Aaron, what do you say about the Cloverfield trilogy?
I just don't know if I've ever heard a worse take in this community than that. And I hate almost every take in this community. That is such a horrible take. No. And I'm so glad I have not agreed with Stephen on most things. This is solidified that I am correct in my subjective opinion. So, God, no. The third movie is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Ever. It's so bad. It's so bad. Never getting that time back. Fuck that movie. And the first one's not really that great either. The first one, the trailer is better than the movie. And the second one, they tagged on the Cloverfield shit so it would sell. It didn't need it, and the worst parts of it were the aspects that were Cloverfield. So what the fuck are you talking about, Stephen? No.
Aaron, so you're a no. Okay.
I think I'm a no, Christina. Fuck no. I'll leave now.
Christina, what do you say about Cloverfield?
I've never seen it. I Googled it and I was like, I don't think I'd ever want to watch that. So that's going to be a no for me.
Thank you.
Sorry, Steven. I love the first two, but yeah, the third one just should never exist in the first place.
But
Garth's comment is hilarious.
Yeah, I'm going to bring up the animated trilogy that I thought Chris was going to go with, and it's probably going to make Nico happy. I'm going to bring up How to Train Your Dragon. This is one that initially in the previous iteration I did say no to because at that time I hadn't seen the third one and I hadn't seen any of them. I've now since watched them all and I can see the love for them. And I'm going to say yes to. I'm going to bring up How to Train Your Dragon because I think it's great.
You're going to say yes to your one you're bringing up, Malcolm. All right, got it.
My vote won't count for myself. So, Chris, what do you say about How to Train Your Dragon?
Yes, I love all three of them. I love them. The Diva made me sob so much at the end.
Oh.
Like I love the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy. Like it made me feel like a child again. I had to say, yeah, I love Hiccup. I love Toothless. Toothless I belong to own and to be friend with for the rest of my life. He will ever real.
Aaron, what do you say about How to Train Your Dragon?
I have not seen any of these movies. That sounds wonderful, Chris. I want to say yes, but I'm going to say no. Just I haven't seen any of them. So I'll check them out eventually.
So good.
Christina, what do you say to How to Train Your Dragon?
This is what I was waiting for when he said Kung Fu Panda. These movies are excellent, so I'm going to say yes.
All right.
And even what would you say about How to Train Your Dragon?
I've never seen them, so I'd have to say no.
I trust you guys, though. That's fair. I've heard good things from people with taste, also, not just you guys.
Chris, what is the next trilogy you're going to bring up?
So are we down to two more?
Yes.
Oh wait. Oh, should I go with something new or should I go with something that's been mentioned? You know what? Don't bring up the other comedy trilogy that we mentioned the other one, and I still think one of my favorite trilogy. I go with the Cornetto trilogy. Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, and The World's End. Well, yeah, The World's End are not that great, but Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead are some of the more funniest British comedy there. And The World's End is still pretty funny. I just think it's great. It's so funny. It's so quotable. Music is great. I just rewatch like Hot Fuzz over and over again to rewatch Shaun of the Dead. And I just rewatch World's End for time. When you say a great comedy trilogy, yeah, you had to mention the Cornetto trilogy. That's why some of it a little connect to each other, but they are great trilogy on their own.
And Aaron, what do you say about the Cornetto trilogy?
I really, these are movies that I don't understand. I'm a big Edgar Wright fan. Shaun of the Dead is fine. There's so many better rom-coms out there. It's a fine zom-com, sure, but there's even better zom-coms out there. I love Hot Fuzz, but the other two, I've tried several times and they don't work for me. So I'm gonna say no.
Christina, what do you say about the Cornetto trilogy?
Anthony loves these movies, but I hate zombies, so I'm going to give them a no.
The only one's about zombies, but okay.
I've never seen them. So.
No, I'm not trying to talk you out of it, Christina. Agree with
But I don't like zombies, so no.
Go ahead, Jamie, chat. Suck it.
Stephen, what do you say about the Cornetto trilogy?
I actually, Shaun of the Dead is actually my favorite of the three, but I'm not a fan of the other two.
Hey, look at that. Stephen, we agreed for once, unfortunately.
Yeah, I would have suggested a Cornetto trilogy. I love them. I love all of these. And I think World's End is great. But we go to Aaron for his next nomination.
Okay. Well, I mean, everything left on my list is not getting on the list. I'm fairly certain of this. So I'm going to bring up French language film trilogy. To many, it is known as the greatest film trilogy in the history of films. And with all those clues, everybody on the call still has no idea what I'm saying, and this is the problem. But it's Krzysztof Kieslowski's The Color series. Blue, white, and red. And these are excellent, excellent films. Go ahead and Google them right now, Christina. You're going to see rave reviews for them. Cannes is a pretty good film festival. Anyways, each one of these movies represent so much more than just, the simplicity of like, this is what the color means to me. They're about grief. They're about complex emotions. And they're beautifully displayed, some amazing acting, and just, everybody who's seen these, I don't think anybody hates these movies who's seen them. So the fact that you guys are going to say no is ignorant. Period. So go ahead and disappoint me, but you should just say yes and just trust the majority of film community that's actually seen these and realize that they're absolutely
You ever shut up? Maybe
and they're widely available. And I would highly suggest that you don't take your hatred for me as a reason not to see them. Go ahead, Christina. I'm done.
You're so quick to judge, bro. Like, calm down. Like, nobody else has seen. Aaron's seen a movie about fucking colors. Nobody else has seen it. You're so pretentious. Nobody else has seen a quality film, bro. God.
You haven't seen them.
I haven't, but that's not the point.
The ultimate mic drop for you to have seen these. I would have to leave forever.
I did Google them prior to this show.
Okay. And what do you think? Chico loves them and he can't even see colors.
It seemed boring to me, but maybe another time, so that's a no for me.
Stephen, what do you say about the Colors trilogy?
I actually did try to look for them, but they're not available in any of the major streaming sites, Netflix, Amazon Prime, or Hulu.
So Criterion Channel has a 14-day free trial right now. Go ahead and pop those on, Stephen.
But for me, I have not seen the Colors trilogy. But just like Christina, I did Google them to find out what they're about, and also it's just one of those ones that it sounds like movies that just aren't made for me. So I'm going to say no to. Chris, what would you have said about the Colors trilogy?
I didn't hear about them until today, and we said no to Cornetto, and I had to say no to this because.
Dude, it's dead already, Chris. You gotta give me a sympathy yes. It's dead already. The greatest of all time got no yes votes. Got it.
But Christina, what is the next trilogy you're gonna bring up?
I'm gonna bring up a comedy, and everyone's probably gonna say no, but I'm gonna bring it up anyway. The first one was great. The second one was the exact same thing. And the third one changed it up, and it was okay. And I'm gonna go with The Hangover because the three best friends that anyone can have, and I feel like the second one was literally the exact same movie, but like you didn't know it was the exact same movie, and then you felt like an idiot because you should have known it was the exact same movie. And I feel like I had very good laughs all around, and I just literally have garbage as my list purely just to make Aaron mad. So I'm just going to keep rolling with it. So Hangover is my nomination.
Stephen, what do you say about The Hangover?
I'll give it a yes. They're decent. I don't think they're great, but they're decent.
I unashamedly love these movies. I laugh at them every time I watch them. So I say yes. So Hangover makes this list. Chris, what would you have said?
No, the first one is great, but second and third are not that good. I don't understand why people would defend second and third. That one is especially your adult of it is some of the most talking shit ever. And I just no, I love the first one, but I cannot defend the second and third movie at all. They are a piece of crap.
Aaron, what would you have said about The Hangover?
What the fuck do you think, Malcolm? No. Holy shit.
They not to the Canada trilogy. What's it?
Are so goddamn bad. There's no defending that shit. And it's like the second one, her defense was they meant for it to be the same movie. That was a joke. What? No. Absolutely not. It should have been one and done. And the best part of any of the Hangover movies was the post-credit, the credits, photography thing, which really could have just been a YouTube video. I don't understand how the fuck this made the list. You guys are just fucking idiots now. And you're like letting your motivation to piss me off run the fucking list. So congratulations on making it shitty.
Aaron,
I'm ashamed.
I agree with you. You got that
Stop,
no Canada
stop letting my
before the
emotions
hangover
motivate you.
trilogy.
Holy shit. Come on.
Oh, maybe just stop being so emotional.
Terrible. Never, never will I ever be that way. Why die? Why
But
die?
Here comes the
anyway,
tears. Here comes the tears.
anyway, Stephen, what was the next trilogy you're bringing up?
Well, originally I would have thought this would be a no-brainer, but
Well, we have a bunch of no-brainers here.
the reaction that people had earlier makes me think it might not make the list. But I'm going to bring up The Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings is on the table. I mean, I'm probably going to surprise a lot of people. I like Lord of the Rings, but there's one spot left on this list. And I've got a few others that I want to bring up more. I'm going to say no. Besides, as people said too, like changing up the list from last time, this was on the list last time. So, Chris, what would you have said about Lord of the Rings? Ooh, what do you say about it?
I love the Lord of the Rings movie. I do. If we had said no to the other trilogy, I would never mention again till we make the top 12 list. I would say yes, but I had to say no because we are down on the last spot. There's two other movies on my list that, and one an honorable mention that should get mentioned more than Lord of the Rings movie.
Aaron, I think I know what you're going to say.
Oh man, these movies have really, like, the second one has that cool battle sequence, but besides that, the rest of the time I am fucking sleeping through these movies. And I like long movies. I like boring movies. This is like a special kind of boring because it's overrated boring. So no.
And Christina, what would you have said about Lord of the Rings?
I like a lot of nerdy shit. Like, I love math. I went to college for math. I do not get down with these movies, and that's gonna be a no for me.
Yeah. All right, it's on to me. And I'm going to bring up a trilogy that I'm going to see if I can get a yes out of Aaron. I can't remember if he said a yes to one of my picks, but maybe. But I'm going to bring up the Harold and Kumar trilogy. I think these movies are fun. Like Ghost of White Castle is fun. I do like that Christmas movie. It's just a lot of great fun. Like John Cho and Cal Penn are a great duo. And it's one of those ones that I'm kind of glad it's still a trilogy at this point. But I would love them to either do a TV series or another movie, whichever. But yeah, Chris, what do you say about Harold and Kumar?
Oh God, let's try to go. You know what? I don't say no because I think there's one comedy trilogy that's funnier. It between my honorable mention and my troll, but I think Malcolm would say yes if we get down to me for my next pick. And I love the Harry. I love the second and more. I think the first one is fine, but I love the second and more. The Helm, come on, Marie. Fine.
So was that a yes or no, Chris?
I don't say no. If we were earlier, then maybe yeah, but not no now.
Yeah, no, I was just making sure. Aaron, what do you say about Harold and Kumar?
Yeah, I really, really like the first one, and I did agree with you on Friday at least. So you at least got one on me, but you keep going after me on the stoner movies. I do love weed a lot, and I do love fast food, particularly White Castle, quite a bit. But I'm actually gonna have to say no to this. The second one is okay. The third one, there's not enough weed in the world to make that a good movie. So that's going to be a no from me, unfortunately. But good attempt. almost a yes. I don't hate it.
Christina, what do you say about Harold and Kumar?
First, I want to just tell Tony and Anthony to stop being mean because I can hear Anthony laughing. You guys are being mean. You laugh because it's not polite. We will not.
Yeah, Anthony, what are you talking? Talking shit? Talk it on the chat, bitch.
Second, I've never seen this movie. I also do not like White Castle, so it's gonna be a no for me.
Whoa, easy. Let's not say things we don't mean.
Stephen, what would you have said about Harold and Kumar?
I'm generally not a fan of comedies. There are a few exceptions. The Harold and Kumar movies are just okay. So that would be no.
Chris, what is your next pick?
Okay, it's time to say comedy trilogy list from getting worse and worse. I'm going with, they're not all connected, but similar to Connected Trilogy. This is some of the most funniest British trilogy. I'm going with the Monty Python trilogy. Life of Brian, Holy Grail, and Meaning of Life. They are some of the most funniest, quotable comedy trilogy there is. Bring your dad, I'm not dead yet. Like, Camelot's on we look on the bright side of life. I'm like, oh my god, the whole biggest dickest. Like one of the most, like, I laughed so hard during that scene we watched it for the first time. I like had to be on Monty Python. I'm trying to redeem our comedy list on the best trilogy. Like at The Hangover and a couple others that should have been on it.
Aaron, what do you say about Monty Python?
Oh man, I don't think this is a trilogy, but if we're gonna allow it,
I mean, yeah, I'm going to allow it, but we'll see what happens. But yeah,
okay. Well, I hate to be like the technicality person, but I'm gonna say no, just because for me, when I just consider the 3 movies, it's not enough for it to make that last spot.
Christina,
I love Monty Python though. I don't want that twisted. I think this is a really good pick, and it's more I just am not ready to let go of this list yet. Sorry, Chris.
Christina,
I'm not a super huge fan of Mighty Python, so I'm gonna say no.
Stephen,
And I've never seen any of them, so.
Yeah, so Monty Python's not going to make this anyway.
Sorry,
and yeah, this is one that I had to fact check. Is like there is like I'm going. I would have said no anyway, just because it's for it to be the last spot. It's really hard. And when Tony himself says not a trilogy. Yeah.
Oh god. Yeah. Well, I'm agreeing with Tony. That's bad.
It's sad because like the same thing with the Connected Trilogy. I'm like, they're not all connected to each other.
Well, no, it's not that, but I'll get that back because as Tony said, there's also and now for something completely different. So yeah, but Aaron, we go to you for your next pick.
All right, my next pick that's going to be turned down by the group. I saw the second one of these movies the first before I saw the first movie, but it was so influential to my taste in movies growing up. It's just a great action character, and Antonio Banderas, the man carrying around the guitar case full of guns. It's the Mariachi trilogy, which is El Mariachi, Desperado, and Once Upon a Time in Mexico. Robert Rodriguez directed all 3 of these movies, and they are just fantastic. Shoot 'em up, great movies. They throw back to a simpler time. Steve Buscemi has a great role in Desperado that is one of my favorite roles, kind of as like the useless sidekick. Salma Hayek is Salma Hayek. So I think that these movies aren't brought up enough. These are John Wick movies that do it with a little more spice, I'll say, and not as much dog killing, which is no dog killing. So,
Christina, what do you say about the Mariachi trilogy?
I haven't seen any of these movies. I'm sorry, Aaron. Please
It's
don't be
okay.
mad.
These are obscure, but
I'm sorry.
Desperado's really good.
I know, and I'm gonna watch the Color trilogy just for you. All right.
Thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
don't know if you'll like them, but I hope you do.
No, I probably will. I was just being a butthole because you were being one.
Stephen,
All right, let's
what
start fighting again. I'm getting uncomfortable.
what do you say about the Mariachi trilogy?
Well, I haven't seen El Mariachi, but I'm gonna say yes still because I do like Desperado and I loved Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
Thank you.
It actually contains one of my favorite Johnny Depp performances.
Right? Absolutely. Steve,
Yeah, I think I've only seen part of one of these. Don't know which one. I think it might have been Once Upon a Time in Mexico. So I can't say yes, but I'm going to watch these for you, Aaron. And
thank you.
But with that, it's all on Chris.
Oh my God, Chris.
Aaron, don't kill me. I never seen any of them, and I know about the.
Oh, I was so ready for Desperado quotes from you, Chris. Oh,
You just point me to somewhere there to watch it, and I will go watch them.
Yeah.
There's so much to watch, these days,
Yeah. Also, Garth said this in the chat, then correct himself quickly afterwards. They would.
thank you, Garth. Don't ever question me again.
Christina, what is your next trilogy pick?
Okay. I'm getting like a steaming pile of garbage is my list coming up. So I'm gonna go with the most respectable one. So for those of you that don't know, I teach 7th grade. And then every year we have to do state testing, which means I have to watch them take a test for 3 hours straight, but then afterwards we get to watch movies. And this trilogy is one of my go-tos because they finally shut the F up and just watch it, and I can get some goddamn peace. And that would be The Night at the Museum. I think for children...
This is your most respected trilogy?
Out of the steaming pile of garbage I have left.
Christ, Christina.
I'm going to send you the list that I made. You're going to make
There are a few you're
I have to
missing.
throw my computer away.
Well, I'm not going to take the 12th spot with anything I'm going to pick. So I'm just going to...
Just go ahead and throw that dead body on the fire.
You want me to throw out like Austin Powers?
Yeah, I want you to have some heart, kid. Go down swinging.
So
That's terrible.
Night at the Museum, though, is actually
let me not talk for everybody. Everybody, Steven probably will say yes.
It is my turn to talk, Aaron. Shut up. Okay? This
Sorry.
is my nomination.
You made Chico fart.
Mm-hmm. So I'm nominating Night at the Museum. There are 3 good movies-ish, and kids like them, and I appreciate it because it helps me keep my sanity. So vote no, probably, and I don't care.
There we go.
Stephen, what do you say about Night at the Museum?
I've only seen the first one. I thought it was a cute movie, but I kind of wanted to see the second one because Amy Adams is in it. But I gotta say no since I've only seen the first one.
But yeah,
so many stories.
but yeah, Night at the Museum. I finally saw the third one this year, and I do like them. So I'm going to say yes.
Oh my God, Malcolm.
So Stephen went no. I went yes. Is that what I'm remembering?
It's down to between us.
Yeah, it's down to Chris to disappoint me again.
Chris, what do you say about Night at the Museum?
We're down to the last spot. I like Night at the Museum. This last one made me stop at Bob Willing being his last scene. I just had to say no because I much like them. We are not down to Steamy Pie. There are 2 trilogies had to have been brought up that as redeemable at least for good trilogies out there. But I tell you, say no.
Thank you, Chris. Absolutely not.
Stephen, what is your next trilogy going to bring up?
Well, I'm pretty much run out, but I'm gonna go with one that I like Probably people will probably say no because I know a lot of people don't like sequels. But I'm gonna go with The Matrix.
The what?
The Matrix. But The Matrix is on the table. I do like the sequels. I'm saying yes. Chris, what do you say about The Matrix?
Oh my god, no. No.
I love the first one, but the second, third tend to jump off and off because, like, the third one just killed how good the first one was. Second one, the only good action sequence is the highway sequence, and it's just like the same boring crap over and over again. Like I love the first one, but the recounting had gotten worse over the years with the movie. So no. The Animatrix is the only good sequel, and that not even drastically released.
Aaron, what do you say about The Matrix?
Yeah, this is definitely not a good suggestion. In fact, it's a shitty suggestion. Shame on you. Shame on anybody who said yes for this being in. Fuck off, Matrix Trilogy. The first one is fine. The other two suck. No.
Christina, it's all on you.
I hope I'm not being unclear there.
Part of me wants to say yes so bad just to see
my
Aaron
God, you would.
No, but I'm just not a Keanu Reeves kind of person. These movies, like the sci-fi thing was so bizarre to me. I'm going to say no to this, and I'm sorry for keeping this dragging on.
Oh, no one's complaining about this going on. This is their favorite episode. This is the 100th episode. We got to go big. What's your longest episode on here, Malcolm?
Almost 3 hours.
Fuck. All right. I got plenty more. To,
Oh my God.
I have one that I'm waiting to.
Oh, I love you too, Tony.
So bad. My list is so bad. I don't want to keep saying movies.
Oh my God.
I don't know how this is going to go, but part of me is surprised that this has been brought up already. But the third one in this trilogy is not that great, but I do think the first two are good enough for this to at least be brought up. And I'm bringing up Meet the Parents. Ben Stiller and Robert De Niro have a great companionship in this.
You see the second two? What are you saying? No.
Chris, what do you say about Meet the Parents?
God, no.
Okay. I actually love the first one. I actually think the second one is a guilty pleasure movie.
Oh my God, no.
We're fine with that.
What is happening?
Like, it doesn't ruin what was good about the first one. What was okay with the second one, but the third
Stop
one
saying
was
good
stuck.
with these movies.
Like, no. Just like, yeah, sorry, Malcolm. Try to be nice, but no.
No.
So, Aaron,
No. Stop saying shitty Ben Stiller trilogy. Stop it. No.
Christina.
I loved the first one. Ooh, my cat's in here. Just scared the crap out of me. I loved the first one in 7th grade. The rest are terrible. This
God,
is
they're so bad.
Oh my God. I can't even think of more things hard. This has been so fun. Garth, your Aaron's still out? Great.
Oh my God. When people say that,
Stephen, what would you have said?
I actually really like the second one because I thought Austin was great in it, and it's probably the only movie I've seen Barbara Streisand in that I liked her in. But I haven't seen the third one. But I'd probably say on the strength of the first two, I probably would have said yeah.
Oh my God.
Chris, what is the next trilogy bringing up?
Okay, maybe they finally we get yes, sorry to. and there's like no after no. I'm going, I've been mentioning the other one, but I had to be up and we're getting close to the bottom. I'm going with the Andy Circuit Planet 8 trilogy. Why just Planet 8, Donald Planet 8, and War Planet 8? They are some of the, I love the original, but I prefer this trilogy better than the other Planet 8 movie. I think they're great. Andy Circuit should have got Oscar nomination, honestly, for his performance in this movie. The villains are great. Gail and Harrison were really good villain. Even Wise is really good. Yeah, they're not great at the other two, but it still hold up really well. And Cobra is a fantastic villain. I cry at the end every time when she die, and I get tearful.
Yeah. And before people sort of crucify me in the chat, I did this one. I did allow it because I consider this trilogy to be a story be able to be told on its own, and it's separate from the original rest of the franchise. But Aaron, what do you say about the Wise Dawn War Planet of the Apes?
Thank you, Chris. This was the next trilogy I was going to bring up just because I figured some people had seen it. It's wonderful. The first movie is my favorite personally, but there's not a weak one in the bunch. I think it's Andy Serkis's best work ever, and he's had a ton of amazing work in his career. Yeah, it's a yes from me. As much as I'm enjoying having a fucking aneurysm here from all your dog shit choices and takes, this is a yes. Go ahead and disappoint me, everybody. Yes.
Christina, what do you say about Planet of the Apes?
I don't know why Aaron thinks we're so uncultured because we don't like
I know. I think you're the most cultured ever.
My God, I didn't realize you were so stuck up.
I didn't either. I'm sorry.
He's in a t-shirt right now. He's
I'm in a bad spot right now.
Right. I feel like he's in a full 3-piece suit and he's going to talk down to us this month. Jeez. No, these movies are excellent. This is a yes for me.
Stephen, what would you have said about Planet of the Apes?
Rise is good. Dawn was great. But I haven't seen War, but I'll still say yes on the strength of the first two.
Feels good to not have heart palpitations for a first time in an hour.
Yeah, this might have actually been out of the first clean sweep. I would have said yes too. I like all these movies. But yeah,
hey, Tony, that's mean.
But yeah, we have reached the end of the nomination process. So, the 12 movies we have is Back to the Future, Friday, Captain America, Mighty Ducks, Beverly Hills Cop, The Godfather, Evil Dead, Bad Boys, Terminator, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, How to Train Your Dragon, The Hangover, and Wise Dawn War Planet of the Apes. So now we get to the fun part of
Did we mention an honorable mention?
I was getting there, but first we'll talk about honorable mentions. Chris, what are some honorable mentions that you had?
So I have 4. One on my number 12 list, I think a really good trilogy. Not a lot of people think the Millennium Trilogy. Go with the Dragon Tattoo, go to Kitchen Hornet's Net, and
great trilogy.
So, yeah, with Naomi, really good trilogy. I would JB have said no to plenty. It's really good trilogy. You guys haven't seen it, and the remake is really good with Rooney Mara.
Aaron, what are some honorable mentions that you had?
I'm really surprised the Raimi Spider-Mans weren't brought up. I love those movies. All 3 of them, I actually do. The third one's so bad it's watchable, unlike Dark Knight Rises, which is just so bad it's not fun. But I'm surprised those weren't brought up for superhero movies. The Apu trilogy, which no one's seen in here, but 3 really fantastic films by that you can probably not find on many streaming sites, but they're on the Criterion channel, which again, 14-day free trial. But yeah, really good. And yeah, those are honestly the only two I really had left.
The
Everything
remake
else-
were not trash to me. It was better than to go with the Spider-Man. Right?
But anyway,
those are just the two I would mention.
Christina, what honorable mentions did you have?
So this is for Aaron.
Thanks.
I have a whole bunch of crap. So I have Madagascar. I don't know if Men in Black qualifies anymore, but Men in Black, Taken. I was trying to be creative and make Jumanji a trilogy.
Exactly.
Austin Powers, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Look Who's Talking.
Oh, I like that.
Rugrats, The Santa Claus, and The Unbreakable. Whatever they tried to do with that trilogy.
Those aren't too bad, actually. Those are better than the ones you brought up.
Yeah.
I can't believe
you're not being sincere.
I can't believe I didn't think of Jumanji as a trilogy.
Jumanji's a great pull.
I would have totally suggested Jumanji. But Stephen, what other mentions did you have?
Nothing that's great, but I enjoyed the Blade trilogy. I didn't bring up Ocean since it was on the list previously. I didn't bring up
I got
Iron
the
Man.
Hangover. Put Jumanji in.
Dude, the Hangover and Mighty Ducks are on this list. Can we make some changes, please, people?
No, that is not part of the
What are
rule.
we doing?
So, come back next season and maybe you can.
I will be back. I hope you come back as well, Christina. I hope you come back and you're a ghost on here. I hope you're a guest on here lots. I hope they never have me back, but they probably won't. But I've had the chat going. They like me.
I mean, everyone is welcome back. I don't say no one is allowed back. So. Look, as I said last time, someone tried making changing the rules, which I think was last week with Anthony. I might consider, but I'm not going to change it once we because we haven't established those rules.
First time for everything, Malcolm. You would make everybody happy if you got rid of Christina's trash choices.
Yeah, 4 of my picks.
Everybody be happy. Hangover.
This is the problem with America.
As I said, it's something I will consider later. I'm not going to do it in the middle of an episode. But yeah. But anyway, for me, some of the honorable mentions I had was I did. As technically counts, as I said, 2 out of the 3 need to be theatrically released. I was considering bringing up Ace Ventura because there is the crappy direct-to-video one, but
oh my God.
I mean, I was tempted to bring up Austin Powers, but I don't think that would have gone anywhere. I've got Bridget Jones on my list. I did put Dumb and Dumber on mine. My Narnia. One that I had for Australia, Crocodile Dundee, I think is a great trilogy.
Great.
I had I was considering Pitch Perfect. I didn't think this would have been suggested. I had the Robert Langdon trilogy, which is Da Vinci Code, Inferno, Angels and Demons. And last one I will mention was I was considering Rugrats.
I would have said yes to Bridget Jones. I would have said yes to one of the other one.
But now we get to the fun part of this, which is the actually ranking the list.
Oh, this should go
Okay.
So we're going to write down on a whiteboard or bit of paper, whatever anyone's people got handy.
Just need to go first.
But I'm going to start off with Chris.
Oh, did you put the list in the? You put the list in the chat.
It's in the private chat. Yeah.
My bad. Yeah, go to me last then.
Alright, so this is easy. The first one great, but the rest of them start the Hangover trilogy.
Stephen, what do you have?
Evil Dead.
Jesus.
Christina.
What the fuck?
Hangover.
I've got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Aaron.
Ducks.
But the Hangover is going to be 12.
All right, I'll say mine. I only have paper anyways. I'll go
Yeah,
last.
no, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go on paper.
But I've already got mine ready for 11. But Christina, what do you have for 11?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Stephen.
Still Evil Dead.
I've also got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Chris.
Yeah, the total need to go.
Aaron.
Quack, quack, quack. Fucking no. Oh.
Okay, what other one?
All right, I'll start this time. How about a Hangover movie?
We already got that's already 12. It's
Good.
not significant anymore.
Well then, Ducks.
Christina, what do you have for 10?
Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, there we go.
Stephen.
Mighty sucks.
Friday.
Fuck, Steven.
Mighty Ducks. Chris.
It was battling split between one and the other, but I went with the Mighty Duck in the end. Okay, this one had more bad movies. The only thing is because I never seen it. So, yeah.
Stephen, what do you have for 9?
Friday again.
I've got Evil Dead. Chris.
I said Beverly Hills Cop because I never seen any of them.
Christina.
Friday.
Oh.
Aaron.
Oh. God, what did you pick, Malcolm?
I went Evil Dead.
Oh my God. What is wrong with you people?
We're ranking them. We're not
Ew,
getting
evil. I'll go Evil Dead. Hi. Choose.
Which means Chris was the only one that didn't pick Friday Evil Dead. Friday Evil Dead, which one do you think should be 9?
Friday, I love Evil Dead. I sorry, but Evil Dead is better than Friday.
Aaron, do you understand what we're doing right now?
Yes, Christina. Do you understand? I'm having fun.
No.
God, you just want. I'll sit here.
Disappointed about everything.
All right, let me just sit here.
You had 2 options, Jack.
Let me just sit here and be
Jack left the
boring.
town.
Let me just sit here and be boring, Christina. I'm sorry.
Right, so just to recap what we've got left, we've got Back to the Future, Captain America, Beverly Hills Cop, Godfather, Evil Dead, Bad Boys, How to Train Your Dragon, and the Rise Dawn War Planet of the Apes. And I'm getting Evil Dead for 8. Chris.
I still going with Beverly Hills Cop, the only one I haven't seen.
Aaron.
How to Train Your Dragon.
Christina.
I went Bad Boys.
Oh, yeah,
Stephen.
Evil Dead.
Evil Dead is going to be 8.
Oh, that hurt so much.
Oh, there goes all my picks.
Okay. Just thinking.
Chris, what do you have for 7?
Beverly Hills Cop, I'm still going with it.
Aaron.
How to Train Your Dragon.
Christina.
Bad Boys.
Stephen.
I haven't seen any of them, so I went with How to Train Your Dragon.
And Beverly Hills Cop, I went Christina, so Beverly Hills Cop or How to Train Your Dragon.
I already know what you're gonna go with.
I'll go Beverly Hills Cop.
Now I react because I'm not allowed to react anymore.
Oh, that hurts so bad.
I am not surprised.
So good.
I'm not surprised even a little bit. Horrible takes.
Yeah, I mean, Friday should definitely be a lot higher.
How to Train Your Dragon should be a lot higher than Bad Boys.
Well, okay, it's still climbing, Chrissy boy.
Well, I mean, How to Train Your Dragon and Bad Boys are still on the table, so
Yeah. One of these could be the best trilogy ever with this group. My God.
Okay. I didn't hear you. I didn't hear you completely, Christine. That way,
Just a reminder: before trilogy did not make this list.
But Aaron, what do you have?
I still have the little kid shitty DreamWorks movies. How to Train Your Dragon.
well,
I've never seen these now.
Christina,
Oh, Bad Boys still.
Stephen.
How to Train Your Dragon.
I'm probably going to shock some people, but I actually put Captain America. Chris.
one of them is fantastic. One of my favorite movies this year so far. The other two, not that great. Bad Boy.
Right. So that's bad. So there's a tie between Bad Boys and How to Train Your Dragon. Is that what I heard?
Yep, it's 2-2.
Yeah.
All right, it's on me. And Bad Boys is going to be 6.
Sorry, I love Bad Boy for Life, but
Yeah, it's wild.
so what we had left.
We have got Captain America, Back to the Future, The Godfather, How to Train Your Dragon, and Rise, Dawn, War of the Planet of the Apes.
Ooh.
Still How to Train Your Dragon for me.
Ooh.
Christina,
Crazy.
How to Train Your Dragon.
Stephen.
How to Train Your Dragon.
Thank you.
I've still got Captain America. Chris.
I might be between the other choice and martial arts. No, yeah. Okay, I go for How to Train Dragon. Like, I was about to take Godfather, but I just cannot bring myself to say that.
How to Train Your Dragon is going to be number 5. So we
They in the top 5, thank God.
Stephen, what do you have for 4?
Only because I've only seen 2 out of the 3, I'll go with the Apes trilogy.
I'm sticking with Captain America. Chris.
Surprisingly, I agree with Malcolm here. Captain America, I love all 3, but like compared to the other one, I'm like.
Aaron.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually agree. Captain America. I really don't like the first one. It drags it down.
Christina.
The other 2 are great, but
Planet of the Apes.
But Captain America is going to be 4.
Oh, God.
Ooh, now we down to Godfather, Back to the Future. Don't kill me, Chad.
I think it's on you, Malcolm.
Yeah, I'm going Planet of the Apes. Chris.
I'm going down Back to the Future.
Aaron.
Apes.
Christina.
Planet of the Apes.
And Stephen.
Yep.
And Apes is going to be 3. So this time, instead of going for number 2, we're going to vote for number 1. And we've got The Godfather and Back to the Future.
Was this the top 2 last time too?
I don't quite remember what the order was. I think it might have been Lord of the Rings, actually.
I think number 1 last time was Toy Story.
Actually, yeah, that might be right, because back then Toy Story was still a trilogy.
Okay.
And had it let's change after so many years.
But Chris, what do you think is the number one?
I have to go with my favorite two of my favorite movies of all time. Much of this still not that great. I still love the first two. Godfather.
Aaron.
Oh, this is tough. I think that while the first two movies of The Godfather are better movies, I think the better trilogy is Back to the Future. I think it hasn't been returned to for a reason. And it's such an easily like spin-offable or continuable story. Yeah, it hasn't been because it was perfect. I gotta go Back to the Future. That's the best trilogy.
Christina.
They're my favorite movies for a reason. Back to the Future.
Steven.
Well, it's really close, but I went with Godfather.
So
Damn.
I went with The Godfather.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it.
It was. I mean, it was really hard with those two. But yeah.
I would be betraying my love for movie, but so bad.
But just to recap the list, and I completely forgot to type these out into the banners this time, so I've got it down on my bit of paper. At number 12 is The Hangover. At 11, we got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. At 10, we got Mighty Ducks. At 9, we got Friday. At 8, we got Evil Dead. At 7, we got Beverly Hills Cop. At 6, we got Bad Boys. At 5, we got How to Train Your Dragon. At 4, we got Captain America. At 3, we got The Wise Dawn War Planet of the Apes. At 2, we got Back to the Future. And at number 1, we got The Godfather.
Good list, other than the bottom like 4.
Yeah.
I mean, people agreed to that.
But I still don't understand what's happening, Christina. Explain it to me on air, please. Please. Talk to me like I'm one of your 7th graders.
Well, you kept just looking disappointed even when people agreed with you, so I didn't.
I know.
But anyway, that brings us to the end. I'll have a new poll up in a bit with what the topics for next week. But Chris, where can people find you online?
You can find me on Facebook. You can find me in a bunch of groups. It's been fun. I have a lot on the list, a few of it on the list, but this is a pretty good episode. Probably one of my favorite out of the bunch I've been on.
Oh, thanks, Ricky.
Aaron,
yes.
where can people find you online?
I am wherever people will allow me to be. Usually it's only once or twice it happens. So this is my first time on here, Malcolm. Probably, I'll be on here eventually again. But I do have a podcast, a couple podcasts I've currently started over quarantine like everybody else. So one is a UFC podcast if you're into UFC, which is on Fight Bananas on YouTube. It is called Inside the Distance. Every Wednesday night we go live on Facebook and YouTube at 8 p.m. We break down the card for the following Saturday. So if you're interested in that, I'm there. Also, I'm currently doing a podcast on the Netflix series Dark, which if you've been around me lately, you've been hearing a lot about. But it's a great series on Netflix. It's a foreign language series in German. And me and my brother are going through the first 2 seasons right now and doing recaps on before the 3rd season premieres on the 27th. But it's called Digesting Dark. It's available on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts now, and Anchor FM.
Christina, where can people find you online?
I don't know if Aaron saw Anthony's little shout out to him. If you wanted to plug that real quick, Aaron.
Yes, I would love to have depressing watch-alongs, but I'm not allowed to have them on any channel. But Tony may let me have it. Maybe Friday night depressing watch-alongs. That'd be great. We can get high and cry. It's one of my favorite things to do. Sorry.
Okay, way to make it weird.
I can make it
so
weird.
I'm around anytime Malcolm asks. I try my best to contribute, even though my lists are terrible. Every now and then, Tony is polite enough to allow me on his show, and Peggy on her show. Hopefully we'll get picked for Build a Boy Band coming up. But I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook. It's my real name, and Twitter. So if anybody wants to watch me tweet about my
She's a great
channel.
follow on Instagram. You'll really just rethink a lot of issues that you had never thought of without her.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I just post pictures of my cat, but he's
I
really
just follow a lot of assholes, so it's just like when I follow someone who's a half decent person, they stand out.
Yeah.
I
That's
might
where I am.
I might not do an angry rant on Facebook later how Disney butchered Anime Foul. Stay tuned.
Sold.
I'm here for it.
Stephen, where can people find you online?
Well, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Not really on Twitter that much. I have been working on starting my own Patreon, but that hasn't launched yet.
I should start my own Patreon. God.
Yeah, you're not gonna make a lot of money, honey.
I would be broke. I know them. They'd call me. They'd be like, "You owe us money. What are you doing on this site?"
But anyway, you can find me on Take 3 hosting late night Take 3 every Friday night. I haven't settled on a topic yet for next week.
It's a great idea.
But you can find me on with Rankum on Saturday nights. I'll have the poll up for that topic. You can also find me over on Full Metal hosting Full Metal Classic on Sunday, which is tomorrow. But you can also find me hosting Full Metal Random. And this week we've got a geography match. Yeah, I mean, they put the challenge out for that. But yeah, it's happening on Thursday, I think. I can't quite remember, but it's going to be Zadelv Ali, Tim Marzullo, and Jacob E. West going to be competing in it. But it's going to be a lot of fun. And until next time, keep listening shit.